Hello, this is Ryan Amundsen, terrestrial habitat biologist with the Wyoming Game and Fish Department. The purpose of this short video is to review the 2023 habitat and weather information for the Laramie region. Habitat biologists provide weather and habitat information to assist wildlife biologists in the season setting process. Why is habitat important? Productive habitats can help wildlife meet their nutritional and cover requirements year-round. Quality habitat can lead to strong herd recruitment through high doe to fawn and cow to calf ratios, which is necessary to maintain healthy wildlife populations. Habitat that meets or exceeds the nutritional requirements of big game species produces healthy herds. This can lead to improved antler and horn growth, which can produce trophy animals available for harvest. Winters in Wyoming are tough, and as such, we expect some level of winter mortality. Providing habitat that's of quality helps animals head into winter in better physical condition and can reduce mortality. Ultimately, diverse habitats result in diverse wildlife populations. Established by the department several years ago, the Wyoming Mule Deer Initiative seeks to explore solutions to the many challenges affecting mule deer in Wyoming. In the Laramie region, we have two MDI herds, Sheep Mountain and Platte Valley. Large-scale disturbances have occurred in the southern portions of both of these MDI herds. We anticipate impacts from these disturbances to overall benefit mule deer populations. The Game and Fish Department evaluates the quantity and quality of habitat available to wildlife populations through several different methods. We assess numerous factors to determine if the habitat is supporting mule deer populations. If the habitat is not supporting the population, we evaluate which factors are negatively affecting the habitat and identify opportunities for improvement. This information aids the wildlife biologists in making informed decisions on whether big game populations are in sync with available habitats, if they are negatively affecting habitats, or if the habitat can support an increase in big game populations. We conduct RHAs, rapid habitat assessments, in the two MDI herds in rangeland, aspen, and riparian habitats. In 2023, RHAs were completed in the Sheep Mountain and Platte Valley herd units. 14 RHAs encompassing more than 300 acres were assessed in the Sheep Mountain area, and 12 RHAs encompassing over 440 acres were completed in the Platte Valley. In areas unaffected by recent wildfires, we continue to witness poor mixed mountain shrub health and vigor. Most shrub communities are in later cereal stages. Annual leader production is typically less in older shrubs compared to plants subjected to recent positive disturbances. In addition to RHAs, extensive time was spent in 2023 monitoring cheatgrass within the Mullen wildfire burn scar. U.S. Forest Service, Wyoming Game and Fish, and other agencies have been monitoring herbicide efficacy since the Mullen fire area was treated in 2021. Monitoring will continue in 2024 to assess herbicide efficacy and identify potential retreatment areas. Additional areas where pre-treatment and post-treatment monitoring was conducted included Sibyl Canyon, Pole Mountain, Palmer Canyon, Hartville, and Marshall areas. The first picture is pre-treatment in 2021 in the Mullen wildfire scar. You can see very little green, herbaceous material, and a lot of bare ground. All of the dull tan color is cheatgrass. The second picture is 2 years post-herbicide treatment. Very little cheatgrass, if any, was observed in most of the treated areas. As you can see in this picture, native perennial grasses and forbs are starting to recover and filling in a lot of the bare ground. Overall, plant species diversity was comparable pre- and post-treatment with the exception of a few native annual forbs missing. Cheatgrass was documented in areas where soil movement had occurred. Additionally, high densities of cheatgrass were documented within the no-spray buffers adjacent to the North Platte River. 2023 was the third year of willow monitoring within the Snowy Range Moose Herd Unit. We evaluated willow community conditions using a quantitative measure of browse intensity called the Keighley Live Dead Index. We focused our efforts on plainleaf, Drummond, and Booth willow. These willow species were selected based on a combination of moose preference and willow abundance within the Snowy Range. We also opportunistically completed the Live Dead Index for other willow species. The majority of surveys in 2023 were completed on plainleaf willow. Willows are utilized by moose, elk, mule deer, and livestock. In the Sheep Mountain Mule Deer Herd Unit, this figure shows the amount and timing of precipitation that fell over the last 6 years. In 2023, annual precipitation across the Sheep Mountain Herd Unit was above average. The amount and timing of precipitation is important, and it affects the productivity of the habitat. Precipitation falling during the crucial growth months, April through July, was also above the 30-year average. In just 2 of the last 6 years, annual precipitation met or exceeded the 30-year averages. Productivity of our herds often follows the precipitation trends we see. In the Platte Valley Mule Deer Herd Unit, annual precipitation was at the 30-year average. Growing season precipitation was the lowest in 2018, followed by 2021. While annual precipitation was normal in the 22-23 water year due to higher winter severity, moisture events in the critical growing months, April through July, for herbaceous and woody vegetation were below normal. The most significant deficits during these crucial growth months occurred during May through July. Precipitation falling during these months is essential for plant growth at high elevations in this herd unit. Mid-June to late July monsoonal moisture patterns provided some late summer green up of forage, which likely aided fawn rearing does in meeting their nutritional demands. Lack of growing season precipitation likely means less growth and recovery occurred in areas recently impacted by wildfires. Again, annual precipitation only met or exceeded 30-year averages in 2 of the last 6 years. Weather in the Laramie region. NOAA weather station data was analyzed throughout the Laramie region. Cheyenne, Rawlins, and Torrington weather stations all observed above average annual precipitation, and Laramie was the only weather station within the region that showed a decline from average annual precipitation, largely due to a very open and mild winter in the Laramie Plains. Harsh winter conditions existed in most of the region. Snowtail sites reported 20 to 50% above normal snow water equivalents. Above average snowpack was seen at lower elevations in the Platte Valley, Medicine Bow, Hanna, and Shirley Basin areas. As mentioned previously, the Laramie Plains experienced a very mild winter, but was followed by well-timed spring rains. Timing of precipitation in the key growing season months is critical to the growth of plant species important to wildlife. Production and utilization clippings are used to estimate the amount of forage available to wildlife and the amount of forage utilized by wildlife. Conducted in late summer and late winter, early spring. This is particularly important for key winter range areas, including the Pennock and Wick WHMAs within the Laramie region. In years of below average precipitation, we observe higher utilization rates. Winter severity may also contribute to higher utilization rates on winter ranges in some years. Pre- and post-treatment monitoring are critical components of habitat enhancement projects. Game and Fish Department habitat biologists collect pre-treatment information before projects begin. After project implementation, we monitor things like annual production, utilization by wildlife, vegetative diversity, and presence/absence of invasive species. We can then use this information to determine the success of a treatment or to adapt treatment protocols in the future if necessary. The Game and Fish Department implements wildlife habitat treatments using a variety of methods. Throughout the Laramie region, the Game and Fish Department is implementing aerial herbicide applications, prescribed fire, brush mowing, conifer cutting, and fence conversions on big game seasonal ranges. The goal of these treatments is to enhance or restore important habitats, to provide critical components necessary to improve the health and vigor of big game animals. This results in more opportunities for hunting and other wildlife-based recreation. Typically, we conduct pre- and post-treatment monitoring to evaluate the effectiveness of our treatments. In 2023, the Game and Fish and other partners completed the following projects. Listed here are some general observations and other relevant information for the Laramie region. Several other large wildfires have occurred in the last 10 years in the three major mountain ranges in the Laramie region. We have seen positive impacts on habitats, especially with responsive aspen following fire. With large-scale fires, we see that browsing is spread out over the landscape, often resulting in successful aspen regeneration and higher overall survival of aspen suckers. The U.S. Forest Service, Game and Fish, conservation districts, Wyoming State Forestry, and others continue to work cooperatively to identify priority areas for habitat enhancements as part of the Lava Project. Areas throughout the Snowy Range and Sierra Madres are being analyzed for treatments to meet multiple objectives, from wildlife habitat to forest stand health. The Wyoming Game and Fish Department hopes to work with the U.S. Forest Service on addressing habitat issues with an emphasis on improving spring, summer, and fall seasonal range habitats for all big game species. Future treatments being planned within the Laramie region include the following. Sites will be evaluated for future Z-dike structure placement throughout the Laramie region. Placement of these rock structures is designed to stop erosion in ephemeral draws and A-grade those areas over time to improve water holding capacity and extend the green period in late summer months for pronghorn fawn rearing and sage-grouse brood rearing. Sites that were treated in 2019 in the Platte Valley for cheatgrass are being reevaluated for potential retreatment. Cheatgrass continues to threaten the native vegetation found on our landscapes, negatively impacts annual production of preferred forages, and creates an environment more prone to future wildfires. This concludes the weather and habitat information for the Laramie region for the year 2023. If you have any questions or concerns, please call or email either of the two habitat biologists for the Laramie region, Ryan Amundson and Britt Burdett. Thank you for your interest in Wyoming's wildlife and their habitats.